And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We back.
And we're gonna do some we're gonna do some debating. Debate B.
Okay, you beat me. See, this is dad joke extraordinary.
Good luck with that, bruh.
Dang, we tried.
We gotta do a rim shot instead. I can go ahead. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna work on that in the background.
I'll filibuster. Yo, how was your week?
Well, you can't ask me a question and then
I sure can't.
how about you tell me about your week?
That was backwards filibustering. I had a great week, actually. You know, coming off of last week. I think as an old man, when you change your diet and start eating vitamins, life does kind of pick up a bit. Your body has needs, and you got to fulfill them. Does that sound a little weird?
Yes.
Does that come off a little awkward?
Yes. You're starting this off in the right way, though.
Yo,
based off the nature of the conversation, right? Like,
good point.
What else, like? Please expound, because I need a little bit more filibustering.
I'll expound. So, you know, when you get older, you just have to be way more intuitive, because you can't just eat what you want.
Yes.
So, you know, you got to take your one-a-day vitamins. It's not like I'm looking at some that you take right in front of me and that inspired me. Mm-hmm. You got to eat more leafy greens, you know, get your vitamins. And sometimes you got to get specific vitamins that you may be deficient in. Mm-hmm. And I'm not telling y'all that, because I'm deficient in calcium.
Interesting.
Or the vitamin that is associated with calcium.
Vitamin.
Nope. See? Yeah. You almost walked right into that. That one.
Okay.
The one that comes from sunlight. That you gotta just step outside.
It starts with
let your melanin.
The letter F.
Take it in.
No, it's good. So basically, you have weak bones.
Yes.
Why? Wait a minute. How does a doctor deliver that information?
They just tell you have low vitamin that word.
And so
letter.
Okay, so you need sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's the synthesis of calcium, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
a combination of sunlight. It's a combination of vitamin,
Mm-hmm.
calcium. Boom, stronger bones. Why are you hiding from the sun?
I'm not. I work from home.
Okay. All right. So I think your filibuster went terribly wrong.
Terribly wrong. Mm-hmm. But overall, the Gray Area Anime podcast is back.
Nice.
Nice. So that's something I could have filibustered about and would have been better.
Thank you. I appreciate that. God damn it. I wasn't ready for that sound.
Instead of being a child that can't say vitamin D.
Mm-hmm. You're not an adult.
No, I'm not.
Me either. So I'll talk about my week, because my week has been sort of adventurous. I've had to.
Oh.
I mean, sort of. I've had to go off on people at work, and that's been a not necessarily a fun activity, but it has been an activity that I'm pretty proud of.
I was just about to say, it sounds like it's bringing you joy.
Yeah, I'm happy about that, because when things don't work for my students, I get a little angry about that, and so I had to vent that frustration so other people don't have to experience what I experience. I sort of sometimes I put myself out there as a individual for those that I care about, and just like, hey, you're not gonna do this to other people. That's the type of person I am.
This is true. You've definitely gone to bat for me with people, and vice versa.
And to be clear, like, I would do it for anybody.
Oh no, this is a fact. God, I hate when I like lose a whole thought.
You just dropped it off at the pool.
Literally got left at the pool and is sitting there waiting, and I have not picked it up.
Went out to get cigarettes, didn't you?
Did not come home.
It's devilish.
But what I was going to say is, what's weird about that interaction with people and how protective we are, people don't try people in front of me. It's the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. Like, there are people who have encountered people I'm close to that, like, you know, we know each other or whatever. And then whoever it is, whether it's you or whatever, will come back with a story. And I'm like, they never acted this way when I was around you. If they felt that way about me or you or whoever. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know, because it would go immediately sideways. Like, I don't have a filter in behind people I care about. But yeah, that's the thought. I'm glad I finished that out for once.
You kind of left it hanging, but okay.
Did I?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. It wasn't like neatly wrapped up with a bow. It was kind of like, you just kind of slapped it, wrapping paper on.
Well, I'll
and then jump, just threw a bow on top.
Give me a second chance. So
give me a second chance.
But in connecting it to your thought of, kind of having to stand up for people, I never get put in that situation most times.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's like, I just like, either I left early or I just missed it or whatever. So I'd never have that opportunity. And it's funny to me, but I also think it's purposeful, because I would probably go insane.
In the membrane?
Nope.
Great.
All right.
So my timing.
Perfect timing. We love it. We love it. We love it.
Let's talk about our main stories. That one's loud. I'm going to have to turn that one down.
It's incredibly loud.
It is ear-shockingly loud. So our story here, we're going to do a bit of a debate. Our debate ties around a new rapper. Her name is Ice Spice. Has gone viral on TikTok. According to Washington Post, you see my story here up on the screen. Ice Spice raps like she's in her own head. Is she in yours yet? So the rapper's breakout single, Munch, Feeling You, has traveled from the Bronx to TikTok to Billboard, is now seeking permanent residence in your brain. Ice Spice is also, we looked and did some research beforehand. Ice Spice is signed to BMI now because of that rise to TikTok, I assume. And a lot of the music and some of the music that is made by Ice Spice is kind of synonymous with drill music. So if you know Pop Smoke, you know the sound of it. And we're going to watch.
Of specifically New York drill music.
Right, New York
which is
drill.
different from the origin of drill music, which is in Chicago.
Yeah. And then there's a version of it in UK as well.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. And so these double sound effects. Anyway, these I'm gonna bang you from the board. This setup process, I swear. So the idea is that we're going to take a look at Munch Feeling You, the music video that premiered on World Star. We're going to kind of break it down, react to it, see what we think about it. Just a quick warning, this is probably not going to be safe for work. So if you're watching this reaction, I'm going to speed some things up in the edit, but at the same time, just beware of your screen, please. And based off of that, we will take it to a debate, which is, will Ice Spice become the new Cardi B? And we will kind of break that down. So are you ready, sir?
I am indeed ready
to break down this video. And while we're breaking down this video, we're going to basically just kind of understand where we are as far as like, yeah, just we're going to react to it.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go ahead and get some reaction. Right.
Stop playing with them riders. You thought I was feeling you? No. That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like, you thought I was feeling you? No, I was feeling you. That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my...
Is this giving you ASAP Rocky vibes right off the bat? This is unfortunate.
That was what I was gonna like.
Why there?
Man, it's giving more Jack Harlow to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I wanted to pull it back a little bit further, but yes, that is very contemporary. But I haven't seen many of Jack Harlow's videos.
Yeah,
I'm not really that into Jack Harlow, personally. But that's because I haven't listened, not because it's not good or whatever.
but that's what it's giving more to me. A$AP Rocky, I think, had a lot more finesse.
Yeah, so in A$AP's earlier days, I think it's like Everything's Purple or one of those songs that I'm thinking about that used the fisheye lens, and they were on the corner and everything like that. So like the corner store, Bronx, New York type of vibe is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And I think Yams was pretty prominent in that video. Rest in peace, Yams. Rest in peace, Coolio too. Mm-hmm. So, want to continue?
Yep.
Let me know when to stop because this is only 1 minute long.
My body, I get what I want, like, bitch say bad, let's keep it a beam. Know they be mad, I be on the scene. Ass too fat, can't fit in a jean. Use my stitch, but it's not what it seems.
Yo, pausing is gonna be very difficult on this video.
I gotta adjust the volume.
So
it's too hot.
Okay.
Whoa.
I have a question.
It's too loud.
Do you think we've always had the Little Kims and Foxy Browns of the world?
Yeah.
Do you think we like stepped too far from that, or was it always there? I mean, we had Uncle Luke as well, so
yeah. So that's the thing is like I believe that there is some basis for the sexualization of hip hop, right? There are people that are legitimately concerned about it and legitimately arguing its intensity. But I think its intensity today is different from its intensity in the past, and that's a wide sweeping thing across human nature. When I think about human nature as a whole, right? This has never been different.
No.
Right? There have always been individuals that just kind of move like this. And there's always been consumers that consume. So and that means that kind of like I've said in the past, our nature is to go towards the dark, the dark side, and that's just what it is.
Right.
But when I think about contemporary access, it is now accessible via the internet at earlier ages, at earlier stages in development.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my biggest concern, is that all right, so for us, our generation, it was difficult for us to access like videos and magazines and things of that nature. Was it?
Not for me.
Okay.
That's a whole nother conversation, but not for me.
Okay.
I was chat room poppy.
Huh.
Like,
well, I'm okay. So, was that a stunt?
a little bit.
Anyway, I think my point is that it was different. We couldn't just hop on a device and just like get instantaneous access. Even when we were on a device, we'd have to wait for it to like load up and then get signed in and then like actually let it stay connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
For lack of a better term, we were on DSL. And
that was good.
Thank you. And this is funny. And so yeah, that's just where we were at that point in time. And when I think about access, HBO, Cinemax.
Okay,
that's what time I was on. So
yeah, but my biggest concern for me though is that it's affecting the music a bit. Like, I don't think Lil' Kim doing the things that she did affected the validity or the strength of her song making.
Did it take away from her talent?
No.
Yeah. And later on, I think that's probably going to be a part of my argument.
Okay.
So, you want to continue?
Yeah. Because we got to find a different pause point.
I got that ready, I'm keeping it clean. Fucking with niggas that's holding up beef. Saying you love me, but what do you mean? Pretty ass fucking me like that I'm mean. Baddest bitch, how you shitting me? If you ain't a baddie, can't sit with me. I swear that these bitches my mini-me's. He wanna sex, niggas be dreaming. I'm from the X, niggas be scheming. I'm on their necks, they's not breathing. Thumb in a check, blow their demons. You thought I was feeling you? No.
Best pause point we could ever have. My other question about is, what is the need for competition in rap?
What do you mean? Competition between who?
So again, when like girls will be like, these people are my mini-me's, like, and what she just said, is there a real need for that in terms of like kind of creating your ops? Because when you make these type of songs and you use those type of lyrics, it can cause tension in places where there really shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think you got to. Folks carry that tension around. They put that out into the world, and then you sort of create enemies where you didn't necessarily need them. I just think this is cultural nature, so to speak.
Okay.
I think it's more playing out into romantic competition versus musical competition.
Okay.
I really don't think that it's that real in music. I think it's real when it gets to relationships. But even then, like even in this song, they're not talking about relationships. They're actually talking about the opposite of a relationship. She's talking about being splurged on. And in tune, getting splurged on is kind of just like, I get what I need, and the guy is taking the L.
Yeah, you got my presence.
Yeah, which is wild to me. You want to continue?
Mm-hmm.
That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch, on my body, I get what I want. Like, you thought I was feeling you? No, I was feeling you. That nigga a munch. Nigga eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch, on my body, I get what I want. Like, bitch, on my body, I get what I please. You know my body, I do it with ease. He want my body, he telling me please. I'm walking past me, sniffing my breeze.
All right.
That's the weirdest line.
The back up. Which one?
He's sniffing my breeze.
Oh. All right, so I don't know. This word is controversial on YouTube, right? And on Twitch, I believe it's like simp culture. Is that right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is what the discussion is about. Like, just kind of basically begging for attention from her,
Right.
and so I guess my question to you is like, how is that going to deteriorate just regular experiences in life, social experiences, romantic experiences? Like, if that's the dynamic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it'll ever go away?
I don't think it's going to go away until we get better examples of good relationships, or at least a standard for what a good relationship should be. A lot of the relationships recently are pushed as transactional. Like,
this is wild transactional for sure.
Like, it's a lot of what are you bringing to the table kind of conversation.
and I am the table.
Exactly. And it just it doesn't serve for good relationship building. So I don't know where we go from here, because this is just where we seem to be, which is in transaction relationship land.
I don't think that's great, right? It's not great to build up a culture, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's going anywhere, right? Let's think about what we're like, this video in general, right? This video is essentially like one step above. I say above in like, it's one step above the strip club. And what I mean by that is like, there's more clothing, essentially.
Like just a tad bit. The other thing I have is, or I'm going to ask you about, how do you feel about the fictional lifestyle that people put out there? Because you know what's going to happen. Like, she's going to get in a relationship with some rapper or somebody, and they might end up being in a relationship for a very long time, which doesn't go with the brand, so to speak.
Yeah, I think about it the same way as like throwing dollars in the strip club, right? So that may happen, but at the same time, there's something, let's say, real at home, and so people ultimately gravitate towards what they truly want, and this is putting out what they kind of fictionally want. Okay. In on a surface level, right? On a very, very surface level, and I don't know that I'm cool with that sentiment. I don't know that it works out long term for people to kind of promote these surface level relationships when it's really difficult to balance just one relationship. Mm-hmm. How do you balance one relationship, a surface level relationship, or one that's like mid level, or what I mean? Just how do you even deal with that mentally? And that must be exhausting for individuals that actually experience life this way. And also, youth culture, right? Mm-hmm. Are kind of trained up to like sow your oats, and you've said that before, right? Mm-hmm. Just get out there and have fun, enjoy yourself. I'm young. That's the excuse that's made sometimes, and that's honestly never been my thing. I had some time where I just was not in a relationship, but ultimately, like most of my experience is through relationship.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Like me, but he not my boo. He like the jewelry I wear on my boobs. How can I link you when I got a shoe? Don't want your love.
Why? Why? Okay.
I just want the blue. Grabbing my ass while I'm doing my dance. She keep on staring cause shorty a fan. Damn. Gotta stick to the plan. He mad as fuck, I won't give him a chance. But still he gon' do what I say. I swear I be stuck in my ways. But still he gon' do what I say. I swear I be stuck in my ways.
All right, so are people more into the song and the drill aspect than the imagery that we're dealing with right now?
I think it's a bit of both, but I also think that they like the catchiness of it. And I think they like to be able to detach emotionally from these transactional relationships. So you thought I was feeling you because we did the things that you do in a serious relationship, but actually it was transactional.
Yeah.
And so people like that because it gives them a one-up on somebody.
That's kind of turning into a deeper conversation. I guess we can go there one day, but what I see here on the surface level is like these kids are just having fun.
Yeah.
Like they're enjoying themselves, they're listening to the music, they're into it, they're feeling it's a vibe, right? And they're literally feeling themselves, not really feeling you, but feeling themselves. And this is okay, right?
Yeah.
This is a positive use of Black culture to see folks in the park hanging out, dancing, and the worst thing that they're doing is dancing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I kind of battle with that dichotomy a little bit, you know.
I think about it sometimes, but I also remember that we are from the generation of taking over for the 99 and the 2000s.
Taking over for 99 and 2000.
That was our end of elementary school into junior high. Mm-hmm. You know, we go from that to Nelly and EI and
Tip Drill,
the skating rink, all of these different kid clubs that kind of popped up around that time, whether it was like 16 to like 18 or the party kind of lifestyle that we had. It was the same thing, and we had songs to fit it. Like we also were rolling around jamming Mystical. Mm-hmm. So I do think that it is the same, and it's about the fun, because we were still out there just having fun. It wasn't as serious as I think sometimes it gets.
And when I think about most of our friend groups, nobody was really about that life, ultimately. Mm-hmm. So I think even though there were some aspects that were a little bit too old for our age, at the same time, I still think that most of it was pretty innocent.
Yeah.
And ignorant at the same time. So, tis what it is. Let's continue.
Thought I was feeling you? No. That nigga a munch. Nigga either he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like you thought I was feeling you? No, I was feeling you. That nigga a munch. Nigga either he ate it for lunch. Bitch on my body, I get what I want. Like
that has to be not planned, but at least us both into it. All right, so I want to take a quick break. Can you give us a clap and we'll come back? Okay, so do you even think it's worth it to break down these lyrics?
Not really, but I do think the song is fun, and it might be kind of cool to, see what's up.
Okay, let's see if we can find anything that's like worth really getting into. Let's see.
You want me to do the chorus?
Yeah, let's do the chorus.
You thought I was feeling you?
Nah.
This nigga Munch. Nigga eater, he ate it for lunch. Bitch, I'm a baddie, I get what I want. Like, you thought I was feeling you?
Nah.
Wait, this nigga a Munch. That part there threw me off. And I'm like, wait, is it not the same?
Yeah. So it's New York slang, meaning oral sex on a woman. Similar, this eater is a person who performs a lot of oral sex due to her allure. Who wrote this?
Whoa, hold on, wait. Thus, due to her allure, said nigga in question is willing to mindlessly scarf down her box hand over fist. Genius. Shout out to Genius. That was this.
Who wrote that?
This is pure goodness. You did
comedy.
Good. This
is
comedy.
Good. Oh man.
Yo, do the second part. You got to do this.
Spice plays on the stigma that performing cunnilingus is emasculating for men, stating that men are prepared to embarrass themselves in order to be willing for her fleeting moment. Oh, man. That is interesting.
That was worth it.
That was... I think that's enough. Let's get into...
That was it. That's all we needed.
Let's get into our debate here, where we kind of discuss and kind of talk about, will Munch make Ice Spice into the newest Cardi B? And I'm taking the opposing side. I'm going to say no, but Icarus Gray is going to take the affirmative and say yes. And so, yeah, let's break that down.
So my first reason as to why she's the next Cardi B is that they are both from the Bronx.
Okay.
I think that plays a huge role in her rise, because I think Cardi has already somewhere stamped that she's kind of with the movement. Also, Cardi is very supportive of artists, unlike other New York female artists that don't really reach back. Cardi supports. As seen by her support of Glorilla, another up-and-coming female artist.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that take. I really don't believe that the Bronx really has much to do with it. It does have a little bit to do with sort of getting hot in your area, you know, so to speak. But at the same time, there's not a lot of I don't see a lot of validity in her being the next Cardi B and replacing Cardi B, because Cardi B is already here and representing the Bronx, and many other folks still represent New York as a whole, and therefore I don't feel that happening. I do feel like she's kind of a flash in the pan, and therefore you can't represent the Bronx if you don't have any long-standing outsider like kind of influence. If you don't have long-standing influence, you can't be the representative, and it's not there yet.
My second point to this would be the song is her Bodak Yellow, and it's catchy. It's created new nomenclature. New?
According to Genius, ain't nothing new about this.
But it's brought it to the forefront, and she will be the voice of Munch. And I think that because it's so viral, and it is a good base for a song, she only needs to continue to let its virality grow as she builds towards an album and tries to keep the momentum going, which I think she has already grasped with the fact that, you know, she continues to release new music.
I think we moved on too fast from the first point, but there's not a lot of depth to that. So I don't know that there's much to argue about. And so based off of your second point, the new Bodak Yellow, I still say it's too early to be in that situation. This feels like, you know, some of those songs and releases that Cardi did on Instagram early on.
Yeah.
Or like the kind of comedy-esque sketches that she would do as well on Instagram. This feels like that moment versus the Bodak Yellow moment. I think she just got signed, and so the Bodak Yellow moment is the opportunity to break through a little bit. So fight me on that one.
I don't really think that, because all they're gonna do, no matter the next step, is not another song. The next step is a remix of this song. And therefore, it's just going to solidify that position even more, especially if you get a Cardi, if you get a Meg Thee Stallion, if you get a Glorilla. Matter of fact, if you get all of those people, let alone if you mess around and get Nicki Minaj or someone like that. Minaj. On the song, it's going to propel it even further. This song is on fire, and they're going to keep the flames going, because that's what you do with TikTok is you keep the flames going as long as possible.
How do you? Well, I guess you can do that by extending the 1 minute and 44 seconds. And I think at the end of this, after your third point, I'll make another point about that shortness, or actually pose a question. Anyway, I still disagree with that, and I think the primary reason why I disagree with the fact that like this is going to somehow become the remix of the century is because it doesn't have as much staying power as a record, and somebody would have to, if somebody comes in and does those features, I feel like talent-wise they're gonna eclipse Ice Spice. And that doesn't help Ice Spice. That helps the people on the remix.
I disagree with that only because a cosign helps you regardless.
To a degree, yeah.
Especially in this point in her career, it basically says, I heard the song, I like it. And I'm going to give it to you. All I got to do is give you a shout out or whatever, or just ride your vibe. You know, like Drake eclipses majority of the artists that he would feature with, and it didn't slow him down.
Yo, what if Drake does the remix?
Look, yo, don't rush my point. Don't rush my point. That's my next point, man. Don't rush it.
All right. Anyway, so I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can settle on that. I don't believe that feature. Although the feature may like help her image and boost her brand and expose her brand to some new folks, she still has to get over that. She has to become the artist that they want to play on MTV and BET and in commercials and things of that nature. She has to find her way into people's late night shows. And I don't think she's there yet. I don't think doing that remix is going to take her to the late night show game. Whereas Cardi B, like when Bodak Yellow came out, that's when she started doing those late night show gigs.
I think she's there. And my last point, or my third point, is solidifying why. So I think with Drake flying her out to OVO Fest to kind of hang with him or whatever, and then the subsequent media storm, I guess you could call it, based off of him unfollowing her or whatever, Drake is calculated in all the things that he does. He knows that people are going to notice these things. He also knows that if he flies you out, if he does all this other stuff, that you are a topic of conversation. His lack of saying anything about why he unfollowed or did whatever it is only going to build her up even further with that stamp. It's like, I see what you're doing. And because I'm not saying anything, it's just going to be interpreted however people want to interpret it. But it's only going to put her further up on a pedestal of, if he saw it and it ain't just like you just some baddie. Not to say she's not ugly or anything like that, but I mean, she's not just the Instagram model that he could get any day of the week. I do think it's based a bit in music as well.
I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't think his stamp really means much until he's on a record. And that's because the record would make it sort of real and tangible versus speculation, right? So we don't know why he flew her out. You know what I mean? Even though, there's correlation with the event and things of that nature, but like, we don't know why else. We don't even know if that information should have been given to the public, right? And I think that unfollow could be a signal that like, hey, you're talking too much.
I don't think she didn't. As far as I know, she didn't say anything. I think this is just people, as always, just snooping in Drake's who he's following, who he's not following type thing.
But how do they know she got flown out?
There was footage, and like he has, I think, probably like video or something like that they had.
So they knew that she was at the event.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think there's an interview out there that she talks about them connecting and having conversations and how nice he is.
Yeah.
So maybe they're pointing to that as evidence.
Probably. But I also think that it was just, like I said, it's one of those moments where he does not do things without calculating them first, no matter what it is. Even if it's like even the Hotline Bling video or how he moves, everything he does, he knew would be a meme. He knew it would further the brand, even though he's already a brand. He was at his second and third step while we were trying to decipher why this video is crazy or whatever. So I think that there's just validity in his flying her out to OBO Fest and either giving her game, chilling with her, just being nice, whatever the case may be. And I think that, like I said, just adds to her meteoric rise.
I don't feel like it has an impact because this game is fickle. And if you don't follow it with a record, if you don't follow this moment with a record, you're done. You're cooked. You're toast. And then you have to follow the other one. You have to follow the follow-up with a great following.
Good luck with that, bruh.
And so my thing is he would have to do a little bit more. He and Ice Spice would need to create a record that would be separate from this moment that would do her a favor. And based off of being signed, I'm speculating that BMI already has those wheels in motion. Yeah. They're already having her record. They're already having her meet with producers and writers and things of that nature.
Right.
So I really don't believe that they're just going to leave it at Munch and keep it moving or do the Munch remix. Because even with the remix, you still you have to create a new moment with every single song, and you can't replicate these moments.
This moment is easy to replicate because of the way female rap is right now. This is basically transactional relationship, like what we spoke of earlier. And all you got to do is keep fueling that. It's not like you have to change the wheel or reinvent the wheel.
But what happens when you throw out 2 and 3 of these and they don't catch? And you throw them out on TikTok, because that's the new record label strategy.
Yeah. I think the second one will catch. It's what they do after, if they do a remix or bring somebody in that will be the pivotal changing point. So if you set yourself up for what your style of rap is in terms of I'm transactional, like use these dudes or whatever. Okay, well now who are you? Or is this you? So I don't know if she's going to separate those things in terms of like what you're talking about with Cardi. Like we figured out who Cardi was at the point of Bodak Yellow.
Yeah, and Cardi is way more dynamic at this at this point. But I think we knew Cardi was way more dynamic in the Instagram days.
Yes.
And so that's my issue, is that we're not talking about how dynamic Ice Spice is right now. We're talking really about the surface level at the moment. Mm-hmm. And because we're discussing the surface level, I don't think she has shown the dynamic range of her personality yet to be able to like kind of break the mold that's needed to break in this situation.
So overall, I do think she's going to continue to fuel the fire of TikTok. And if we've learned anything from the TikTok artists, they don't need much else but this. Then they do a couple more songs, but the overarching career point for them is they do this. They are able to grow a fan base. Their fan base is loyal. You only need to get 100,000 or something like that. People like real fans, earnestly, and then they're able to tour. She's already done an appearance on Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
And so she's getting to those places and getting those fans that are going to rock and ride with her. So I don't really think she needs to do much more but stay consistent.
I don't know though. To Russ's point, even though she's on Rolling Loud, doesn't mean that she can still sell those tickets by herself, right? That's my biggest point of view. Like Rolling Loud was just a commercial, in a sense, versus the ability to kind of headline Rolling Loud or be one of the lead performers at that moment and actually be a ticket drawer. So I still feel like there's some ways to go.
Yeah.
But is it going to be better than Cardi B? Negative. And and if we think about the span of this record, right? So it's a $1.44 on the duration of the song. Is this new TikTok generation giving us shorter and shorter records? Is that going to be the formula now? Because we already knew they were getting short.
Yeah.
We already knew they were getting about, this is almost 2 minutes if you round up, but this is literally just a minute and a half or a minute and 3/4.
They are getting shorter, but with purpose. And the purpose is, I'm going to make the soundtrack to your social media life. I'm going to accentuate the things you do.
And it has to be repeatable, right?
And that's it. Because you need to be able to post this. You need to be able to have a moment in time that's like, this is what I'm feeling. Or, comedians are going to be able to like, oh, I have to hop on this wave. I got to make the jokes. I got to do whatever. So
or rappers react to it.
Oh, man.
Burning it up.
But yeah, the strategy is strong and it's working. We did a whole deep dive into Jake and the other TikTok artist. And like, I stumbled on his song and I love the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would go to a concert and watch this.
Yeah.
And see what else you have in store to at least give you an opportunity.
I think the difference is, and this is not to knock Ice Spice, but Jake seemed to be pretty musical to begin with.
Yes, 100%.
So where do you go if, like, because we haven't seen the breadth of, again, we haven't seen how dynamic she can be. Yeah. And we already knew Jake is dynamic based off of his past and his strategy and his ability to, and I don't want to get into that argument where like people that can play music are better than, people that just vocalize. Because I hear that argument all the time, or I hear that as a diss sometimes. Like, what do you play? And if you don't play anything, then you're just not a musician. That burns the hell out of me.
Dog, listen, I know whatever somebody does with an instrument is still not better than what I can do with oration in general, just period.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, well, okay. Well, what I more so mean, because I don't want to, because that was real.
You're just real, like, boom.
I got to like shooting at folks.
You.
What I more so mean is it's at the same level, is what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like their mastery of their piano is the same as my mastery of being an orator.
Yeah, it's
that's better way to say it.
That's what I'm focused on, yes. Right? Is that as a vocalist, you have to train to be a dynamic and great vocalist, and it's an instrument in the same way that your flute is. I don't know why I picked the flute, but this kind of microwave era, right? Back to my question. Is this going to lead to the 30-second song?
No, I think they're going to stay. I think the lowest that they're going to go is 2 minutes.
Okay. So the average is going to be 2 minutes.
The average, everything will average up to 2 minutes. Reason being, you need at least 2 to 3 moments you can pick from a song. They can pick from the chorus. They can pick from the middle parts of the video and things of that nature. And then whatever your most quotable line in the song is. Like, I think there are too many moments in this song that we stopped and we laughed at because it's a funny line. But these are the lines that you create content from.
And we stopped and created a YouTube strike.
But yeah, that's all you need in this era is to create those moments, because TikTok, Instagram, stories will and shorts will do the rest.
Woo.
And she own it.
I feel as if I'm concerned about that, but that's a whole separate topic and debate. And we have already talked about that, right, at length. So my final question is, where would you rate this with your scale of 1 to 5? Arbitrarily.
I would give it 4 Cardi B's out of 5.
How dare you? How dare you do this to me? Because now I have to edit that bullshit. So fucked up. So. I can
give you a different one.
No, it's too late. You already made it a moment.
I did.
That's not right. I was trying to think of.
You thought you wasn't gonna work?
So I'm gonna give this.
You forgot who I was.
I'll probably give this like 2.5 apple pies out of 5.
Why apple pies?
American Pie.
Yo. We'll catch y'all on the next one. A 1 and a 2
and a
peace.